Well, this is the thing. I mean, you talk about nominal liberals in your country, but I always thought that making fun of privileged people, of royal personages, whether or not they've still got their titles or not, I can't keep track of it. I always thought that this was the sort of thing, these were the sacred cows that nominal liberals loved to skewer. What has happened here?
They do have a very strange relationship with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in particular. I think they kind of treat them with the level of deference that a royalist 200 years ago would treat the monarchy. It's fascinating because we live in an age of victimhood. If you claim to be a victim, no matter on what spurious grounds, you are kind of sanctified. But you're exactly right. Press freedom in this country and many other countries around the world is built on people who had the temerity to mock royalty, to mock people in high places. Press freedom began in Britain with the end of Crown licensing. You had radicals like John Wilkes who published far more outrageous things about what the King's mother was getting into than what Jeremy Clarkson has said, tongue-in-cheek, about Meghan Markle. But it seems like because we do live in this age of identity politics, you have supposedly kind of anti-establishment left-wing people essentially agitating for the sake of sparing the blushes of a duchess. That's where we've ended up, unfortunately.
And I mean, isn't it this thing too? I mean, they've put out, Harry and Meghan apparently have put out some other new trailer for some new sort of program where they're talking about innovators, which of course is codename for, various sort of high priests of the woke movement. How much of this is actually kind of a quasi-secular religion where you're not allowed to criticize people who have elevated themselves up the hierarchy of this in the same way that in the old days, Galileo could get in trouble for, saying the wrong thing about the way the sun and the earth revolved together?
I think there's a lot to that. If you claim this mantle of victimhood, if you say the right things, if you mouth the right slogans, that seems to get you a bit of a force field, at least when it comes to public life and the media and so on. But when you're talking about people like Harry and Meghan, their stories had so many holes poked in it at this point. The truth according to Harry and Meghan seems to collide with the truth according to about everyone else all the time. And also, they are ultimately not particularly interesting or intellectual individuals. The fact that there have been so many people who've really been going to bat for them, I think there's a lot of people who will start to slowly back away now, particularly as the Harry and Meghan show just becomes more and more of a circus and as people's patience starts to run out, basically. I think that halo will start to slip a little bit, or at least I hope.
Well, and just very quickly, I mean, they've got a new book coming out, Spare, the Prince Harry memoir. Do we just, as free speech people, have to accept that we're going to hear a lot of nonsense around that too very quickly?
Oh, definitely. But, that's the point about free speech. People can speak their nonsense. People can offend us. We can argue back. And I'm glad to say there's been a lot of that in recent days with the Netflix thing. And I'm sure we'll see it in response to Spare as well.
Well, thank you so much, Tom, for walking us through this. I just think it is absolutely fascinating how people who, would claim to be free speech in any other decade of human existence are now becoming these absolute prissy, blue-nosed Puritans just because somebody is having a poke at Harry and Meghan in a clearly tongue-in-cheek fashion. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.